Years ago, I made a video about choosing a mechanical keyboard, and now after using a lot more, I thought I'd give an update, because it's pretty simple, and I have some extra keyboards I need to go through anyway. And there are some things you should probably know. Let's start with the basics. You get the switches that sound good to you, you can listen to sound tests and reviews, and find the ones you think feel best. You'll need to try some out in real life first, and then you should have a pretty good idea just based on what people say in videos. Then you find the best features that suit you, and also the one you can afford. So for examples to help explain my choices, I'll use the keyboards I've been sent over the last few years, like the HyperX Alloy Origins Core. Great design, decent sound on the switches, but the keycaps are sharp on the edges. It's not comfortable to type on, and it lacks the features I like. You could just replace the keycaps, but that's extra effort and cost. I do like it, but the keycaps are the main deal breaker here. And apparently it's compatible with consoles too, and it's 10 keyless. You could also go even smaller for the 60% keyboards, or even the Streak65. Razer have the Huntsman Mini. First thing I noticed is how quiet the switches are. Here's a listen. If you're a streamer, or someone who is on mic a lot, this is the kind of switch you want. It doesn't have the best feel, but it's still nice to type on and it's really quiet, although it does have a bit of a rumble when you bottom out. This shouldn't wake too many people up in the house either, if that's an issue. More importantly though, it's 60%, meaning you don't have arrow keys without using a function key. You can learn to use this keyboard pretty well, but as someone who writes novels and does a lot of content creation, I want more keys, not fewer. Let me show you some shortcuts. If you hold Control and use left and right arrow keys, you can skip entire words. So watch, I can navigate through sentences really quickly and get to the words I want to change. Not only that, if I hold Shift while I do it, I can select entire sections and cut and paste or delete. And personally, I do use the Home and End keys. It's great for getting to the start or end of lines like this. So yeah, look, 60% keyboards are cute, take up less space and can be used pretty well. But to do all that, I have to hold down an extra key. That's more effort, doesn't feel as good, just not as efficient, so yeah, not for me. And I was actually doing that with a 10 keyless. So 10 keyless is fine, 60% not so much. I actually like having 0 and enter on the keypad too. It's good for video editing when I just need to change a number to 0. I highly recommend learning to use full-size keyboards if you're getting into content creation or even just working a lot. If you are just gaming, 10 keyless can be good. And if you want a challenge and freedom to do stuff faster isn't a concern for you, then okay, 60% can be good too. So when choosing a keyboard, make sure you know what you're going to use it for. Next, the switches. This probably needs a dedicated video these days. There are so many types. But to keep it very simple, you choose between tactile or not, loud or not, clicky or not, and low profile. For gaming and typing, I actually love low profile linear switches. So no tactile bump, no click, just smooth key press. You can follow my recommendation or go down the rabbit hole. I wish you luck, I'm not joining you. I'd rather just get low profile and the features I want. The Corsair K70 Low Profile is my favorite typing experience so far, and if I was choosing between it and the Logitech G915, I'd definitely choose the K70. But the G915 also comes in wireless, the G915, and that's my actual main. Because Logitech wireless is amazing, the battery lasts me about a week at a time, even with the lights on. It's low profile, has dedicated media keys, volume roller, extra keys on the left, which can take some time getting used to, but the keyboard has everything I want these days. And because I reposition the keyboard all the time, it's actually really nice not having a cable. Wireless is the future, it's just going to take some time to get there. It isn't perfect, but it's the best I've used so far. The G915 also comes in 10 keyless, and look at this. It still has its dedicated media keys and volume roller. This is what I was asking for years. So glad to see it. I love these keyboards. I've been using them for about a year now. No desire to change, haven't even seen a keyboard close to these in terms of features. And yes, they're very expensive, wireless usually is. But you shouldn't be buying a new keyboard every week, or even year. So with the same logic I used to buy the first keyboard I reviewed, the Corsair K95 RGB, which was about $270 or $295 back in the day, I would actually be buying the Logitech G915. Now all these keyboards were sent to me for testing, so there's no favoritism here. This is just my choice. And until another wireless low profile keyboard comes out with dedicated media keys, I'll probably be sticking with it. But I get it. Keyboards are expensive, maybe a bit too out of your budget. Don't stress, I could still play on a $10 keyboard just fine. These are luxury items for sure. If you can only afford a cheaper one, that's fine. Just trying to get you to think about the features you want, so it makes the choice easier. Now with the newer keyboards, it is good to have the extra speed. The latency is getting pretty low, and you can do some cool tricks with things like the SteelSeries Apex Pro. which allows you to set actuation point height on each switch. After testing it out, I found having it at about level 3 was best. But these are full-size switches, and even with that extra functionality, it doesn't offer much advantage over a low profile like I use. So don't be swayed too much by it. And lastly, we have these great keyboards from Roccat using the Vulcan switch. I love a lot about them, and they look low profile, but they're not. It's just a thin keycap. And honestly, the typing experience is a bit hard. If you need a strong switch, then this might be a good keyboard to use, but the keycaps are a little harsh because they're a bit sharp on the edges. Good features including a volume dial, and some of these keyboards have software, others don't. If I was going to go into detail on all this stuff, this video would be over an hour. I just wanted to give you some quick insight because I've tested a lot of keyboards in my years running this channel. I haven't gone into the custom ones because I don't think they offer much benefit or suit me, but I do see a lot of people doing that now. Be prepared to spend a lot more money than you earn, and use time you won't have because you'll be at work all day trying to afford them. So I would say just keep it basic. Figure out the switches you like, find the size you want, check the features like dedicated media keys and extra buttons, shop around, find the best price, decide if you want to pay the extra for wireless or not, and of course just watch a heap of reviews to try to get the best idea possible. And my recommendation for gaming and typing is low profile linear. And go full size keyboards so you'll learn all the shortcuts, or at least go 10 keyless. Dedicated media keys aren't a must, but it's really nice being able to control the volume. And that's pretty much it as far as I'm concerned. You should go more in depth when you're learning what you actually want, but after that, you should have a pretty good idea whether a keyboard will suit you or not. And that's how you choose a mechanical keyboard these days. So I hope that helps. Special thanks to all the companies for sending these out for testing and the video. This will probably be my last keyboard video unless something amazing comes out. Usual links in the description if you want to help support what I do. Subscribe, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.